The quarterfinals of the 2025 World Championship is behind us. 8 teams entered, but only 4 remain, ready to continue their battle in the semifinals tomorrow. Before we get to that, however, we're taking a look at the best of the action so far. Here are the top 15 plays from the Quarterfinals of Worlds 2025.
In the road to MSI, and Gen G was able to fight back. I think you're going to be feeling a lot more confident if you're not there, as on my life, they know they have to take this fight.
Let's see what they can actually get done here. Like you were saying, Cloud Soul going to make this poke comp difficult to play as Toby going to get cornered here, but gets out of the way of the bomb. They did manage to take him down in the end though, as Viper is untouched. Keen gets in there, he's in the mist looking for Zeus, but the needlework doesn't quite connect, and now it's him that has to flash away. A blast cone is going to be there for him and Ruler to stay safe, but this dragon belongs to HLE.
But in this one,
the beauty of these teams is nothing slows their momentum down. He stacks up the Q on the control ward, flash knock up, follow up. Even though he flashes away to safety, it's that engage from Delight to connect him to the wall to allow for HLE to find themselves another kill. Once Keen is in, the rest of his team just cannot follow. He's forced to retreat, he flashes away, and HLE deny the solve.
Just so hard to play for everybody except for Hansama, because the rest of G2 are going to be clumping.
The Brav, they're going a little bit wide, but now he's just completely isolated himself. Flat forward with the play. Broken Blade ready to come over the wall immediately into the back line, but Jackie Love is still standing for now, untouched. Broken Blade trying to move forward, but 369 perfectly interrupts. Jackie Love shift back over the wall, now able to free fire, but Hansama is firing back just as well. Trap down, Redemption coming in. The Caitlyn needs to make the difference, but it's 369 into the back line with the triple.
Caps is going to run for his life, but 369 still on the hunt. Even though Caps survives, it does not matter.
Oh, right there. Hope's boomerang blade, his ricochet, bouncing through the wave to stop Gumayushi's back as Doran goes in from a ton of damage here with a Flandra. The public execution plus the flash to try to get away. Flash Electro Harpoon coming out from Doran, but no! It's Flandra with reinforcement from Shanks for the shield for the outplay.
On Docdam, who's just gone for the reset as well, so potentially going to TP up to this fight. This is risky for a CFO.
Sleep onto Hongq. BDD doesn't have a huge amount of mana. Grubs begun again by Cars. The flash! Headbutt pulverize! Up here to take a medal, take a prize, impaled under the tower, but he takes the enemy mid laner down with him. Rest trying to come in from the side. He's going to get slept as well. A perfect nap for KT to collapse as Docdam takes the kill. Kaiwing chased out, make it 3. KT secure the feats of warfare.
KT have woken up. Grubs.
And again, it's one of these situations where CFO is not respecting the map state. You called it out, Rob. Look at the Caitlyn. Caitlyn is locked under her tower down here on the map, and we have the Ziggs, who's going to be TPing in, adding the extra man, and just beautiful play there from Peter. Uses the W taxi, and then Q flash forward out of that.
He's not going to be able to get back to this wave, like, ever. He does decide to do so, as now Keen could be the one in trouble. But Keen had the scissors out and chops him down. It's a solo kill in the top lane.
This is an amazing demonstration of why pots are so important. And then Keen with the return damage ends up getting the outplay.
and I think Zeus was expecting to be able to burst him down when he went back in. But Keen is Conqueror stacked, and he's just quick enough with the auto there.
Well, I think flashing away allowed the time for the auto cooldown to come off, so that when he then flashed to follow up.
Distant damage? Doesn't feel like they have that anymore.
Hongq's the timing! Decimating smash against the knockup, they don't kill the tower, Mega Inferno go down as well, as Hongq takes a drive to his demise, and now KT can look for more. BDD with a paddle style doesn't quite clip Ginger, CFO back away.
Perfect timing on that decimating smash was just that. What a beautiful play.
Zeus looking to get on top of Chovy one more time. This dragon down to about 4.5k as Peanut goes in, finds the Glacial Prison. This time the Boss Blossom is too good, as Duro will be able to even get the kill on his opposite number. HLE falling down left and right, and it's Keen once again on an onslaught, and Viper Life Esports, he will be the last one to go down, and it's a triple for Ruler.
I'm normally not one for premonitions, but that felt very, very apt, as it's Viper standing alone. The Dragon goes to Hanwha, but the 5v5 teamfight win goes again. And look this, Canyon blocks the ultimate. They were trying to set up on Chovy. Peanut tried to glide past, follow up on the knockup of Zeus, but instead this Ryze gets to keep doing his damage. and Keen deals with the back line.
It felt like such a heavy commitment onto Chovy. The game plan from HLE was just, we have to take this Rise out of the fight, and by funneling into the Dragon, they made it so much easier for Genji's AoE to do damage to the entire lineup of
turret. A little bit more damage onto Tarzan, but it's not a lot. They don't need a lot, they just need time to chip away at these tier 3s. Doran with a Bellows Breath to get through the claw. Flandra loses half his HP. The Mordekaiser's gonna be your target. Here goes the Ornhorn. They knock Flandra up into the air, but again, nobody under serious threat. Tarzan with an Impale onto one, but he's about to die. He flashes away. Guma flashes in. Carry with a 3-man Pop Blossom will seal the fate of anyone's legend. Guma with a triple. Guma with a quadra. Only Flandra stands. Gumayushi finally dies, but AL will die with him. T1 will not go quietly. Board, and Flandra's forcing down the first turret 14 minutes into the game. Now T1 starting up the second Drake. They want to try to keep stacking here. Keria disengaging as AL's on the approach. T1 grouped up as 4. The Drake is down to 2,000 HP. Faker joins up with everybody. It's a 5v5. They go in immediately as Doran tries to lead the charge with a flash estimating smash, but he's only going to be beat down himself. A lot of damage on the Doran, but he is not down. Keria into the back line. The major engage from T1. Tarzan finds a supreme display of talent and making a 1-for-1 so far, but T1 have the health bars. Faker rides the Weaver's wall as Keria's about to die into the back line, but Kyle falls. Tarzan falls. T1, they'll lose Keria as Gumayushi fights back, and Shanks is on the run. Faker and Guma looking for a little bit more with a piercing arrow going over the wall, and Faker's ready to flash. Another rock is thrown, and Shanks is buried. T1, 4 for 2.
Once again, it's Faker in the clutch in the fight, finds the flick to send AL into everyone on T1. What a play from the T1 mid laner.
The team fights, baby, and Doran's gonna go for a flash ultimate here and just start out the fight. We're talking about the Scion value is always gonna be there. He immediately got the Braum ult and the Braum wall out, and then Faker gets that shove into the Keria engage. Keria charms up 4 members, and even though they sacrifice the Scion, they get such a lead in the fight, they can then go for the chase.
And the fact that Doran ends up forcing Tarzan to flash out of River sets up so nicely for T1, because your biggest worry is a massive Kiana ult in the middle of that fight. But you can't find your moment if you're not able to beat.
This Viego really needs that first reset. And there's not any like point and click. You're not paired with a Syndra, an Annie, an Ahri, anything like that. So it's just everything does your poke click.
Oh my god! Oh my god, the Mega Inferno Bomb of Doom, and Ginger overstepping Peter with a great double pulverize onto the backline, and everything hits this time. Rest tries to dive in, but is put to sleep, and all he'll see are nightmares of KT.
We just got to see what the 2 different fights look like. The abilities hit, and there is not a lot you can do. Look at this beautiful sleep into the Mega Inferno Bomb, into the Paddle Star, everything timed perfectly there. We're gonna call it the Mega Inferno Bubble. That was looking clean. And with him gone already, BDD, he's looking like he's got an aimbot. He's just point and click.
What they want, they stall the Baron, they get you off, they then get the mid tower, and now they're gonna force T1 to come to them.
And T1 are ready to answer the challenge. Faker with a teleport ready to join up as immediately the engage comes out from Tarzan. The target is Keria. The Shanks finds everybody. Thanks in the back line as Gumayushi tries to get away. He's scattered, but he's knocked down by Tarzan. Faker scrambling as Kyle and Hope chase after him. Doran's gonna be the next target, and anyone's legend have forced the world champions back.
What an engage from anyone's legend! Tarzan does not hesitate.
Ooh, 369 thinks he's safe.
Level 9 though. Ulti available, as is the flash. G2, they've got Skewmon in the way, but they need to be careful not to go too soon. Root does connect onto 369. They spot Skewmon now coming in. Hansama forced to flash away. 369 manages to connect with the wall. Flash forward, 2 into the wall, and here comes Kanavi! 369 playing with patience, punishing G2.
Oh, 369 is insane. He alley-oops into the wall for Kanavi to clean it up.
Reset. AL, they send Flandra into the mid lane to answer the wave, clear that one out. The rest of AL remaining by the Drake.
You have to be so careful as AL. One of these spells lands and that Hextech so slows you, it can give T1 the opportunity to chase you down. As Flandre on the reset picked up his GA.
Okay, T1, they're moving into the river. They're taking total control now. Hope wants to grab the red buff, and Flandra needs to get back out and join up with the rest of AL here for the fight. Red buff secured. Elder Drake started, but so slowly. Flandra gonna move forward, try to clear away the control ward. They're going in after the Aatrox. They set him up with the arrow. Flandra has been caught at a critical moment. Over the wall goes Tarzan. Wild Growth coming in from Kael. Guardian Angel will bring Flandra back, but where is the damage on AL's side? Doran into the back line. Kael is already down. Doran killed in response. T1 pushing forward. Shanks the next kill. Hope trying to kite. He needs to get away because T1 have won the fight 2-1.
Flandra is trying to reset and teleport back in. He's trying to link up with the team. The minions are here. They need to turn it. That's the teleport.
Okay, T1, they've got to understand this Aatrox is probably their target. Flandra arrives. Solar Snare looking to lock him up. Owner taking a ton of damage. Hope is excited. Flandra's got the kill. Solar Snare on Hope, but it's not going to do any more. Flandra's going to try to get away. Goes back in here for the Q1. Tarzan wants to engage on Gumayusi, but he cannot find him. Flandra over the wall. Wants Faker. Can't get the damage. Hope can't do it either. Gumayusi's still alive. T1 out team fight into Legend for another delayed ace.
T1 kite into the alcove of death. They take down AL, and they're going to reset. The Elder is still on the table.
Wanting to try and make this helicopter work for him. If this Keeper's Verdict lands, it could be such a big deal. Chains of Corruption. He's going to start this fight as Peanut. Crescent Guard there to keep himself safe. And now the flash in. He gets the turret. He managed to cancel it. Public Execution is still going to be able to find Zeus away into the backline, but the Cataclysm is there from Canyon to buy the space, and Zeka goes down. Zeus is going to follow suit, and he tried as he might, but Gen G are going to win out, and even though they lose, the Drake might be able to take even more.
Peanut steals away the dragon, but the cost was so much. Genji, they're hunting, they're fighting, they're trying to deny HLE from getting back to base. Because it
stands at least for now. They weren't able to kill it with the Baron pushes. We take another look at the fight.
Duro connects a beautiful hook. After Peanut gets chunked out, you're going to see it here. The disengage, the hook onto Zeka as the shockwave connects as well. Just beautiful layering of CC. The fact that Peanut gets a smite in the midst of all of that is just absolute chaos.
And then Canyon finds the ultimate, jumping over the wall while Zeka tries.
Of the victor. Faker winning the trade against Shanks as Tarzan trades with Keria and Gumayusi. T1 with control over the Herald as AL approach. Flandra's going to look for a target, potentially here for the death round. Herald down to 4K. Claw hits 2, but Flandra can't get any closer. Owner wants to take the objective. Paranoia's already gone out. Herald secured by Owner as the Ornhorn comes in, but only finds one. Keria locks up Hope. Gumayusi into the back line, and the AL AD carries already down. Owner tries to flash away. Doran in the middle of everybody, but Flandra barely stays alive. He should surely die right after the shield falls, and Owner kills him. Kael's on the run. T1's on the hunt. Everybody on AL's dropping, and T1 are absolutely demolishing the LPL team. Tarzan tries to dig through the wall. He'll barely escape, but it's Rift Herald plus 4 kills to the side of T1.
Even Guma lived. Shanks tried to go back in to kill him, but he couldn't get the vision, he couldn't get the damage. T1 have taken control of this game.
Tarzan wants to see if he can get Faker on the way out. May get the damage down, but AL are so far away. Keria is still in the vicinity. And T1, this composition from this position is so difficult to fight against as AL. And we see it as they come in. So you end up with Shanks trying to get access to the backline, but it doesn't really work. Doran ends up getting good value, but it's Keria's ultimate here onto both the carries that sets up perfectly for the play, as Tarzan and Flandra just can't do enough with Shanks to carry a fight like this.
Exactly. The other side of the fight, the Mordekaiser that just ulted this Nocturne, Owner had already gotten the objective, and then Owner still lived as well. It's just T1 dismantled.